Attracting viewers who are going to pay you a large sum of money over the internet has completely changed forever. The old way of creating content, piecing together funnels that are magically going to convince somebody who has a large amount of money to pay you just doesn't work anymore. Know that the old way of creating content and making somebody come on a sales call in order for you to pitch them isn't going to convince a buyer, or AKA a whale, to all of a sudden pay you $2,000, $5,000, even $10,000 plus on a sales call. For this new era of content creation that we're stepping into, if you understand the right mechanisms and levers that attract buyers and converts them just through content, then you're going to be entering this new era of social media with large amounts of cash flow. Now I know what you're thinking, how the heck is this guy with a shitty whiteboard gonna show me how to convert large buyers through social media? Well, it's simple. I've been in this space for 5 years and I've had the chance to work with some of the biggest brands and info sellers in the entire space. People like Robert Kiyosaki, Brett Malinowski, Toozer, and I've had many large creators who make a ton of money who are my ideal clients following me at the moment, and also editor throw up the video of me closing a 12K deal. We're typically putting in the whole shebang, sales sides, done for you stuff, and that's usually 35K. But for you, dude, like we're solving just 3 to 4 problems here, the marketing side of it, and we can do that for 12K.
Okay.
And the real reason why I know how to attract people who are gonna pay me $10,000 plus online is because I understand whale anatomy. It's not about a specific piece of content that's gonna magically convert somebody like a VSL. It's not about that. It's not about a funnel that's magically gonna make somebody want to purchase your product. If you think of a funnel as just a system to leading somebody towards their destination, almost like an airport, you have security, which brings people in, filters out the people this isn't for, aka the bad people, and lets the people who are good citizens through the airport so they could get on their plane. But in reality, it does not sell the destination. Understanding whale anatomy and buyer psychology is what truly gets somebody to convert and saying they want to work with you, not the funnel, not these other pieces of content that I'm about to discover, which leads me into our first point here, which is freebies. So freebies here is the first stepping stone to understanding whale psychology. Okay. Whales, if you're thinking about people who want to invest, what do they truly want? They don't want free things. I'm not saying it's bad to give away free things, but if you're always giving away free things, the whale doesn't see any value in that. Because what they truly want is to know where to place their money and energy to, and they will invest into that thing. No person I know who's making $50,000, $100,000, or you can even say $20,000 a month in their business is truly using any lead magnets that all of a sudden are going to help them implement one thing. Sometimes maybe it's very rare, but normally broke people are the ones that are hoarding free lead magnets and PDFs and downloads. Okay? It's because the whale wants to know, where do they need to invest into, not where do they need to find free information. And as you're growing your business, you'll understand that time and energy is the most important thing. So spending your time and energy on doing things yourself isn't the most leveraged task as a business owner. And this is the difference between a whale and a brokey. Or even if you have a B2C offer like fitness coaching, sure, you can give away a lot of free things, but the person who's ready to truly make the change wants to know where to look instead of what free things should I get. Okay? So the first thing you need to stop doing here is the how-tos, right? The how-tos is giving away things for free. Start showing the person where to look, and that is insights. Insights beats freebies. It attracts whales because you're pointing somebody where to invest into. Okay, what this might look like right now we're running a self-funding funnel, low ticket funnel that creates buyers. If you want that, check that out in the description. But instead of making a video, here's how to set up your low ticket funnel that's going to attract buyers. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. The brokey is going to want that. The person who's going to invest is going to be like, all right, I'm going to look for somebody to do that for me. What you need to make a video on is why self-funding funnels, are named for low ticket funnels, works better than anything else. It works better because it attracts buyers, it liquidates your ad spend, you can send people much easier. And then when they hear that, boom, I'm going to start investing into that area in my life. Okay. So that's the core understanding of whale psychology. And a lot of you too, when it does come to freebies, like I said in the beginning, freebies aren't bad by any means. Like, keep that a part of your content strategy. I do. I practice what I preach. But the thing is, my freebies actually solve problems. Some of you guys just create freebies just to create freebies, right? You don't know the true problems of the person who's going to pay you a lot of money. And you start creating these random freebies because everybody loves a freebie, a PDF, or even a YouTube video, right? But you don't understand the real problems of the person who has money. So you need to make sure you're connecting the dots. If you do create a freebie, make sure, once again, it's for the person who has a fucking problem. Okay, so that's number 1, freebies. We spent too much time there. Really simple. And by the way, guys, all this other stuff here, this is the real sauce. So stay tuned till the end. I'm going to be covering the real sauce. It's just we have to understand these things here before we get into the real sauce. Otherwise, this stuff won't make sense. Okay. Number 2, though, is tools. Now that we understand that the whale isn't entirely looking for freebies, what we need to now understand is this person is looking to invest into unique solutions that are going to solve their problems. And if you don't have tools that are unique, that makes you stand out from everybody else, then they're not going to invest into you, because what the whale knows is that everybody's just copying each other. And if this guy has the same exact solution as some dude in your niche that is already doing hundreds of thousands of dollars or already servicing hundreds of people a month, they're gonna go to that person because there's nothing unique about that. So tools here, let's first define that. Tools is the things, the frameworks, the templates, the stuff, the systems that you give people to their journey towards success. And if you don't have unique tools, like, I have unique tools here. We have things like buyer's menu. These are all things that we give people inside our inner circle. Go ahead and check that out if you want access to that. But we have things like buyer's menu, identity marketing, ecosystems, self-funding funnel. These are proprietary methods for achieving very specific results. So our tools are specific. The results we get with our tools are super specific. And this is what whales are looking for. And these have to be, keyword, geez, I fucked that up. Why can't I say it? They have to be proprietary, okay? So keyword proprietary. And so what you need to do, if you don't have anything unique, tools that are unique to you and the specific problems that you solve for the specific whale, then go fix that. Okay, number 3 is interesting. This is what is getting into building your authority. Okay, and that's having a stance. A whale is looking for somebody, a buyer is looking for somebody who kind of aligns with them on all sorts of levels, right? Trust has to be developed. Connection has to be there. The same beliefs have to be there. And if those boxes aren't ticking, in a sense, then somebody isn't going to pay you $10,000 online. Like, think about that. You never met this person and they hop on a sales call for the first time and you expect them to pay you $10,000 and you're not having this trust and this connection formed through content, then it's not going to happen. So you need a stance. What do you tolerate? What do you fight against? Because the important thing is the beliefs need to align there. And this is a way, like, the buyer is, what would you call it? Like parallel beliefs that are happening, and that person's going to be more likely to invest into you. So you need beliefs here. You need to highlight your enemies and you need to talk about your values. And once again, these are all things that are going to make you different from everybody else, because a whale is looking for the outlier. The buyer is looking for the person who is different and truly understands them. Taking a stance on things accomplishes that. All right. So now that we understand, no freebies, you need your specific tools, and you need to start taking stances. Let's get into the sauce of how to build here. And the first thing, which this was already the gateway, the stance, but the first thing we are looking to build is a brand that attracts buyers. And number 4 here, the secret step to doing that is language. If you want to attract a buyer, you need to speak buyer language. If you say the right things, the right people will come. Can't preach that anymore, right? The reason why I get followers from Russell Brunson, King Keto, some of the biggest people in my niche, and they're in my DMs. Like we have business owners who are making $1 million a year in my DMs asking me how to do things. The reason why that happens, because I talk their language, right? So how do you begin to speak buyer language? Number 1, one-on-one speak. Now this isn't some stupid tip like saying the word you in a video. I mean, it does help, but it's not stupid as that. One-on-one speak is a lot different. And this is actually a reason why I believe salespeople are way better at marketing for high-ticket products than marketers are. And this goes back to the idea that I discovered when I was helping out a lot bigger brands, people like Entrepreneur Media, Paramount Plus, and then more on the e-com side, Collars & Co. and stuff, clothing brands, e-com brands. These people are selling relatively cheap things, products that are $20 to $50 to maybe $500, right? And for that, they're playing an entirely different game. They're playing a game of volume. And the game of volume is reaching everybody, speaking to everybody. And when you speak to everybody for a high-ticket product, you're speaking to nobody. Because what these brands, these bigger brands who need this volume, they're looking for resonance. And you need resonance to go viral, right? So the problem is if you do that, there's only a reason why they can sell a product that's $100 to $500. It's because they're trying to target everybody. When you sell a high-ticket product, the reason why most people need sales calls is because it needs to feel super tailored towards that person for them to spend over $10,000 online with you. So when you're on a sales call, the reason why you have a sales call is because you can speak to that person one-on-one, present something that's a little bit more tailored, customized towards that person, and then be like, yeah, that's for me, I'm going to pay you. So if you're not having this speak of one-on-one throughout your content, nobody's going to pay you $10,000 online or whatever your ticket price is. So really, to sum this up, it's matching what you're saying on a sales call to what you're saying in your content. And I'll take that a step further. It's getting very specific about the language and the very specific pain points that people tell you on calls and their very specific experiences. And that needs to be brought into your content. So for people inside my incubator, we actually have a automation, AI analysis automation that takes everybody's calls, everything that's happened on the sales calls, and puts it into a database and spits out content ideas. So you can use one-on-one speak, which is really cool. Okay. Number 2, it's kind of piggybacking off of we just don't do freebies anymore. Stop. Okay. Number 2 is the iceberg of emotions. A lot of people, the reason why they do freebies is because they don't understand, number 2 here, iceberg of emotions under language. And freebie stuff is very surface level. If you're giving away how-tos, if you're talking more in a big value sense in a way, it's very surface level talk. The iceberg of emotions, I don't know if you ever seen like those memes or whatever, but there's the tip of the iceberg, and then there's there's the surface line, and then the iceberg goes super, super, super deep. Okay? What most people do at the top of the iceberg, they're talking to what I like to call logical pain. Logical pain is when you get somebody to focus on a logical reason of why they're experiencing pain. You might say, if you're a fitness coach, you might say something like, oh man, you're super busy, which, keeps your calendar full so you don't have time to work out. Okay, that makes them logically think about, oh, yeah, you're right, I am super busy. I have a wife, I have kids, I have a job, my calendar is full. All of this makes a lot of sense. Logical pain, very surface level of emotions that are being brought out. What you need to do is go under the surface. I'm going to draw this out too right here because I think it's important. Okay, so this is the surface where logic happens. Here is where more emotion happens. Okay, at the bottom here is identity. If you speak to the identity, the core things that make up their beliefs, you're speaking more emotions. And as we know, nobody is bought, nobody is sold through logic. I mean, sure, maybe it happens, but they need to be sold through emotion. People buy based off of emotion. So if you're not going under this iceberg, you're not going to sell anybody because they have no emotional reason to invest into you. Okay. So that's, where identity comes in. And then number 4 here, which begins to help you take a bigger stance and start to gain your authority in your brand here, is belief challenging. Okay, belief challenging is so crucial because once again, it kind of goes back to the stance. Like people are looking for a reason why you're different. They're looking for a reason why you're authority. They're looking for their thoughts. A whale is looking for their thoughts to be changed so that they can look and invest into something. Okay? So belief challenging gets you to change somebody's beliefs. And when you change somebody's beliefs, you change their actions. Right? Like if I thought it was going to 100% rain tomorrow because my weather app told me today it's going to rain. The first thing I'm going to do when I wake up tomorrow, so I'm going to put on my rain jacket, even without looking at my phone, because I believed it was going to rain. So if you challenge people's beliefs, you challenge the way they take action, and you shift their actions. When you shift their actions, they're then looking to where to invest into. And if you're that guy, you have everything else set up, you're chilling. Okay? So that's language. Super, super important. Know how to speak your buyer's language. Okay? Number 5. A lot of people skip this stuff here. Look, man, I don't claim to be the most intelligent or articulate person. I really don't think I am. I'm sure you can tell based off of this video. But what I feel like I have is character. Think about that for a second. Why would somebody invest into you? Why would somebody put $2,000 plus into you and your program? If you can't answer that, then you don't have the right character to be invested into. People buy into leaders. As much as people buy into your tools, which is important, that's part of the game when it comes to online coaching, selling info products, or just anything online. That's just part of it. What you need is to be a leader that somebody wants to invest into. Okay, I see a lot of this. I'm on a boat, taking a sales call, selling somebody into my program, or I'm in the airport selling somebody in, or trying to show these flashy things. All that's kind of like overhyped at the moment. None of that works. It doesn't show that you're, if you have a make money online offer and that's like your thing, like showing that you're doing sales calls while you're on a boat, that's not going to work anymore because people buy into leaders and you don't have their proper business set up if you have to do that. So the character and the leadership is so important. I would like to explain this here. So there's two bubbles. There's you, and then you can see this, right? Yeah, okay. Then there's the market. All right. A lot of people, the reason why they are not making money is because themselves haven't leveled up to meet the market. The market here is never going to meet you. The market's going to be the market. They're going to want to invest in the things they want to invest in. They're going to want to buy into the things that they want to buy into. And if you're not making a lot of money yet, it's probably because you're not the character. You haven't shifted your leadership, your conviction in your frame. You haven't brought that to where it needs to be for the market to invest into you. So the quickest way to actually become a leader is just have more knowledge about your space and understand the people that you're talking to, the language that automatically puts you as more of a leader. Do the work. A lot of people are skipping out on that. Like, I can't tell you how many times people come to our sales calls and they're like, yeah, I want to be a sales coach. And I go, how much did you sell? They're like, I haven't sold anything. It's like, you're never going to be a sales coach. You're skipping steps here. So put in your time, put in the work, be the leader. That also lets you have conviction in what you're doing. I do honestly believe we're in this really, a really weird period with content and social media where people are now really, really, really looking into the subconscious things that show through content. So does this person know what they're talking about? Do they have that conviction that's being picked up so quickly now? So conviction and frame. One thing you can do, I get it, people are starting out, right? One thing you can do that I've messed up on in the past, to be honest with you, is I used to create a lot of content being like, this person's doing this person's doing this thing, this is this guy's funnel, this is this guy's workout exercises, whatever, right? You're losing all your frame there. You're losing your leadership because you're just pointing to the leader the entire time. So what you need to do is just speak in terms of I've used to, I learned this thing, I've just implemented this thing, I used to be doing that. So if you speak in the terms of I's, you begin to hold that frame and that conviction. Okay. The third thing here is your world, right? People want to know that you are a trustworthy guy to invest into, that you're a leader to invest into. So you need to show a little bit more of your world. You need to show your set, places that you go, things that you do. Do you, hang out in a certain place in Miami? Do you go skiing? Do you go golfing? Do you do rich things? Or do you do the things, this is really important if you're selling B2B, do you do the things, and do you show that you're doing the things that your offer is about? Okay. If you have a lifestyle business, show the lifestyle. If you have a barbering business, show that you're cutting somebody's hair. Just show the sets that match your offer. Okay. Show other characters, show people in your world, show your clients that you're working with, all that stuff, and show things that you're interested in. This just starts to build out your brand a little bit more, giving people a reason to invest into you. Okay. So these two things start to build your brand. And this also kind of leads into number 6 here, which is ultimate authority. So ultimate authority, this stance here starts to develop it. The tools start to develop it. It's kind of like recapping a little bit of everything here. Like all this can be placed into it. But the thing is, there's some other things that you want to lean into that are very important. So to ask yourself a question, what gives you authority against your competitors? This stuff might help you for sure. But if you can't answer that question of what's making me different, what makes me more of authority over some things than them, then nobody's going to spend a lot of money with you. Authority is needed in order to invest. And number 1, you can look at your unfair advantages. What makes you different? What's an advantage that you have compared to all of your competitors? Everybody always has an unfair advantage. Even if you're sitting there like, I have no idea what it is, give it some thought. You have an unfair advantage. For me, right now it's my Instagram account that I built up. I started it at the right time. Other unfair advantage of mine is that I'm really, really, really good at breaking down information and making it simple. So I lean into that a lot. Okay. There's some other ones in there that I have, but number 2, your mechanisms. This kind of goes back to the tools that you use. These are all essentially mechanisms, right? If you're using the same tools, the same ways, the same pathways as your competitors to get people results, then you have no authority. You need different mechanisms in order to get people results. That way you can speak on that at 100% conviction and frame so that you're a leader in it. And now people are going to start to believe in it a lot more and want to work with you versus a competitor. So if you're curious on like how you develop this out, check out the incubator. We talk a lot about this because right now we're also entering a market with info selling coaching. Doesn't matter who you're servicing at the moment. It's sophisticated. Everybody knows what's going on here. Everybody knows you're just trying to sell a program. And so being different, developing out mechanisms is the core way to make yourself an authority and be different in the space. Get rid of that market sophistication. Okay. Number 3 is proof over promises. Okay. We're seeing a lot of people make a lot of promises saying, if you get in and don't make 20K, I'll give you 20K back in a week, right? These promises just don't work. What people are really looking for, what a whale is truly looking for, is proof. Okay? So, are you showing case studies? Are you showing screenshots of people winning? Here's a key one that a lot of people don't do. Are you providing data in terms of proof? One thing that we do is we track the success rate of all of our clients, and everybody who has been through our program and reached the end has seen 100% success rate in adding an additional $20,000 to their business. So when we give people that data for the whale, it becomes a no-brainer. They're like, oh, the data's there. It's another little extra hump to get them over the edge there. So showing the data, and here's the thing with proof over promises. Well, if you're sitting there, you're like, I don't have a ton of proof, I don't have all this stuff. You do. Like if you have a couple of clients, you certainly can ask them for testimonials, even if they didn't reach the goal that you're trying to get them to. There's a lot of little things that you can display in your journey. So like even another example of this, even somebody inside our program, they haven't reached $20,000 a month yet, but we got them a new apartment because they hit 15K. It's not our promise, but we can show that they moved to a new apartment based off of working with us. And that's a big one. But there's a lot of other like little small ones that you can do inside your program that will allow you to get some proof, testimonials, screenshots, and everything. But this is all that makes up Ultimate Authority. And just to kind of recap everything, like what's the protocol here for you? What do you need to do? Number 1 is stop giving away too many freebies. That's not in the terms of how-tos. You want to show people where to invest into, give them the insights of the things that they should be focusing on, not how to focus on these things. Okay? And then also create freebies that actually solve problems, understand who the person is that pays you the large amount of money every single time, and create freebies around that if you are going to create freebies. Number 2 is having the tools. Unique pathways, unique levers, unique mechanisms to get somebody to the transformation. It's going to make you look different, have a stance, share your beliefs, share your enemies, share your values. This is going to make somebody connect to you and want to purchase into your program. The next is brand. Start developing out the brand by having one-on-one speak language, use iceberg emotions to show that you really understand people, understand identity, so that's at the bottom of the iceberg, and then begin to belief challenge. Number 5, character. Be the character that the market wants you to be. If you are not receiving a lot of money, if you're not having, this is a good one, if you're not having money like naturally flow to you from social media, it's because of this right here. And then number 6, ultimate authority. Begin to implement your unfair advantages, your mechanisms, and a lot of proof. Cool. This is how to attract a whale that is going to pay you a lot of money online.